Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Yes, it is 420. And what has me thinking is all of these dispensaries all across Maryland are making a really big deal out of it. Oh, 420 day, 420 this, 420 that. I mean, I always took 420 as sort of a slang underworld type term, but dispensaries, they're anything but. They're big business. They're dealing with prescriptions, big bucks. They're not Spicoli blazing up in the van. I don't know. Well, enough of the things that keep me up at night. Let's get into today's news, shall we? A sad story out of the Broadneck Peninsula. On Monday night, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to the 900 block of Holly Drive West for a large tree into a dwelling. There were 5 occupants of the home, 4 adults and 1 child. 2 older adults were able to get out of the home before the fire department arrived, and the fire department did rescue a female in her 40s and a child, but the male, also in his 40s, was declared deceased at the scene. It is believed that it was a family of 3 and 2 grandparents. The grandparents and child were either not injured or suffered very minor injuries. The mother was taken to a trauma center with life-threatening injuries. And as I said, the father was deceased at the scene. Now, this is the second fatality this year from a tree falling into a home. Back on February 22nd, a Crofton woman was killed in the same manner. Both of these were after significant rains with moderate winds, which really do set up a perfect situation for a tree to become top-heavy and uprooted. It was a week ago that we told you about a 15-year-old that was shot in Eastport Terrace community. We had heard from neighbors at the time that he had passed, but this was unconfirmed. And the Annapolis Police Department was being a bit coy with their language, releasing information only saying that he was stable when he was flown out. Well, we have confirmed that he did in fact survive. He has undergone emergency surgeries. He was in a coma for a period, but he is on the mend and still in the hospital. So some good news, I guess, when it could have been a lot worse. Some political news. State Senator Ed Reilly, who represents District 33, which is Crofton, Odenton, Severn, parts of Millersville, and some of Severna Park, has decided not to seek re-election. And Delegate Saab, who represents that same district, will slide over into the Senate for the race. Both of them are Republicans. And in the county executive race, Republican Herb McMillan made a pledge yesterday to roll back recent tax increases, saying that current county executive Pittman increased income taxes by more than 12% and has plans to hike them again. McMillan says that he will cut them and then introduce a cap if elected. People are always asking me about shredding events, so here is one coming up on Friday, Earth Day, at the Farmers Market at Truman and Riva. Sponsored by the Parole Rotary, it will happen from 9 a.m. till noon. It is free, but if you want to leave a donation, they will gladly accept that. Obviously, you can bring paper and all, but they are also collecting old computers, phones, tablets, and other technology, books to support their Books for International Goodwill, old towels, bedding, gently used toys, and unopened pet food for the SPCA, and sweaters, coats, and jackets for the Just One Sweater effort. So take the next day or two, find out what you can donate, put it in your car, and head on up there Friday morning. I don't know who Mark McCullough or John Wakeman is, but I do want to say thank you. I do know Rick Wakeman, but I don't think they're related. But John and Mark are doing a great thing. If you become a member of the Annapolis Maritime Museum and Park, they will give you a $20 gift certificate to Leeward Market, one of my favorites in town. Why? Well, they both love the museum and they both love Leeward. And Leeward right now is in a bit of a bind with BG&E tearing up all the streets in the area, and they're feeling a bit of a slump in their business. So John and Mark want to bring the community together for the benefit of all. The museum gets a new member, the member gets a few free meals at Leeward, and Leeward can breathe a little bit easier. So if anyone knows these two, please tell them I said thank you. And as for the membership, individuals start only at $50, families are at $100, and then some awesome perks kick in at the $150 and above level, like free docking, free admission to the winter lecture series, and more. and I am a proud commander level member, and that sounds so impressive. So go become a member at the Annapolis Maritime Museum. You want to go to amaritime.org and grab yourself a Leeward gift certificate. And a pro tip for the Leeward Market: their egg salad is amazing, and surprisingly, so is their pizza. And some quick pod news. On Saturday, our local business spotlight is Unity Gardens. And next weekend, former Capital editor Rick Kutzel sits down with me talking about his new venture, Meanwhile in Annapolis. All right, that's it for the news. But first, a quick thank you to our sponsors for today's Daily News Brief: Solar Energy Services, the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company, the Roof Guy Annapolis, and Rehab to Perform. All right, now hang tight. George Young from DC MDVA Weather is standing by with your locally forecast weather. And just because it's Wednesday, we've got Bridget back, also known as BeeprBuzz, with all of your music news in Annapolis After Dark. All that in just a bit.
Are you an active adult or competitive athlete dealing with an injury keeping you from being at your best? Then Rehab to Perform is here to get you back to your full potential. R2P is a unique fitness-focused physical therapy company with 4 locations in Maryland. More like a training room and a personal training studio than a medical facility. R2P offers physical therapy for lower back pain, overuse injuries, post-surgery, muscle pulls, chronic pain, and more. R2P also offers rehabilitation for concussions and mild traumatic brain injuries. To learn more, visit rehabtoperform.com.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company.
So maybe you've heard by now, the real estate market is hot. Actually, on fire might be a better term. And if you've been thinking about changing your address lately, but need to get your house market ready, here are a few simple tips to make your house shine. Clear the clutter. Basically making your house look like no one lives there when you still live there. Removing everything from kitchen and bathroom countertops is a great start. Give your house a deep clean. We're not just talking about a simple dust and vacuum. Think of this as detailing your house. Get into those hard-to-reach places, especially in the rooms buyers will focus on, like the kitchen and bathrooms, and power wash the outside walkways and decks. A fresh coat of paint can go a long way. Light gray and white trim is a safe choice. And finally, talk to us. The Kristi Neidhardt Team can help you find things you might not notice around your house that can make a huge difference in your sale price.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, April 20th. Yesterday was slightly cold and breezy as expected, but it was definitely better than Monday's conditions, and conditions will now continue to improve today through the weekend. Look for mostly sunny skies today after a chilly start this morning with PM highs in the upper 50s to mid-60s, to be followed by more sunshine and mid-60s to lower 70s tomorrow, though winds will become a bit breezy again. And then it gets even nicer Friday through Sunday with tons of sunshine each day, with highs in the mid to upper 70s on Friday, followed by upper 60s to mid 70s on Saturday, with more mid to upper 70s on Sunday, with a small chance we see some readings in the area hit 80 plus degrees. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, as well as through our website at dcmdvaweather.info. And as always, be sure to download our DCMDVA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google app stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hi, this is Gary Ledard, owner of the Roof Guy Annapolis. For over 15 years, my team has worked with hundreds of homeowners to provide the highest quality roofing in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. As a homeowner myself, I understand when it's time for a new roof, you need to find a roofing company you can actually trust. One that will give you the bottom line. No fluff, no runaround. At The Roof Guy, it's my goal to build lifelong relationships and aspire to change what people have come to expect from a roofing contractor by delivering great experiences. So if you're looking for a roofing company in Annapolis or Anne Arundel County that holds the highest standards for quality, craftsmanship, and business reputation, call me today to schedule your free roof evaluation at 410-570-4956 or visit my website at theroofguyAnnapolis.com.
The music scene in Anne Arundel County is popping, and sometimes it's hard to sort through it all. From blues to pop, from funk to ska, BeeprBuzz has it all covered for you in this week's Annapolis After Dark.
Good morning, Annapolis. BeeprBuzz here with your Annapolis music highlights for Wednesday, April 20th through Sunday, April 24th. Go to the socials for Annapolis Streaming and BeeprBuzz, and also both websites for the full schedule and all the updates as they happen. AnnapolisStreaming.com and BeeprBuzz.com. Live music for tonight, Wednesday. Daphne Ekman will be at Reynolds Tavern. Larry Lay will be at Brian Baru. Hippie Happy Hour returns at 49 West with Dave Chappelle and Friends. At Dark Horse, you'll find Barry Prosser and Edward Plant of Barry Prosser and the Ordeal. Thursday, Get to the Point for Brian Ewald. Michael Kay of Pretty Big Deal will be playing with Laura Young Nicky at Gary's Grill in Severna Park. Also across the street, Sean Sattel will be at Brian Baru. Just down the road, Aaron Hawkins of Loose Ties will be at Mother's in Arnold. And at Senior Chili Cantina in Arnold, you'll find Billy Fisher and Keith Thompson of Doc Martin and the Flannels. Doc Martin and the Flannels will also be playing at Twain's Tavern on Friday night, full band. Continuing Thursday night in Annapolis, Ben Heemstra of Ben will be playing at Julep. Brant Austin Dunn will be at Reynolds Tavern. And Dave Teff will be at Graduate Hotel in the Trophy Room. Weekend music, Friday night, start with Happy Hour at Blackwall Hitch in Annapolis with Dana B, and then stay for the National Bohemians. They absolutely nailed the MRE party last week. Everybody loved them. Then up the road on West Street, check out DJ FO4 back at Graduate Annapolis in the Trophy Room. And Oh No, One Night Only Band is at Stan & Joe's on West Street. Michael Kay of Pretty Big Deal will be at Ram's Head Tavern. Live music returns to Club 164, which is the dry club over by the mall, with Dave Baldwin and the Bluesmen. Up in Severna Park, one of my favorites, and one you don't get to see performing in Annapolis much, Orlando Phillips from the group Starpoint back in the 80s. Find him up at Sullivan's Cove in Severna Park. Nate and Jim, acoustic duo, will be at Mother's in Arnold, and Stefan here will be at Killarney House in Davidsonville. And the weekend music is back at Stan & Joe's Riverside down in Galesville with Chris Button on Friday night. Saturday, here's a treat. Meg Murray and Angie Miller will be up at Brian Baru. PJ and Neil will be across the street at Gary's Grill. The Gail Herald Band is back at Dark Horse Annapolis on Saturday. Tim Atkinson will be at Ram's Head Tavern on Saturday night. And Michael McHenry Tribe is up at the Hideaway, which is somewhere in Odenton. At Middleton Tavern, 2 floors of live music with Donald Wolcott upstairs on piano and downstairs lowercase blues. Both Friday and Saturday, DJ Crawdads is at Metropolitan on the rooftop and DJ Draco is at O'Brien's. Sunday fun days start with Bluegrass Brunch up at Sullivan's Cove with Annapolis Bluegrass. It's been 1 year since the Bluegrass Brunch started there, so this is going to be a big celebration. They have Danny and Ryan Paisley and Sarah Larson and Danny Stewart joining this week. Enjoy jazz brunch at Ram's Head Tavern with Oreo, brunch at Gary's Grill with Michael Waisky. Then in the afternoon, Michael Kay of Pretty Big Deal will be in Market Space in front of the Federal House. Soul will be at Mother's, and one of my favorites, The Drinker and the Scholar, will be at Galway Bay. And Sunday Music Sessions is back at Stan & Joe's on West Street with Hurricane Kevin and Mike Numera. This week's guest is Carly Winter. She's another upcoming star of our scene. Remember, these are just the highlights. Find the full schedule of music for the Annapolis and surrounding areas on the Annapolis Streaming Facebook event and on the websites AnnapolisStreaming.com and BeeprBuzz.com, spelled BeeprBuzz. I'll see you out there.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.